Welcome to The Revealer. September 14th, 2025 began like any other in Subic Bay, fishermen casting their nets, children preparing for school, and the gentle hum of daily life filling the air. The bay shimmered under the first light, promising another peaceful day. But that peace was shattered by a deep, unfamiliar rumble that rolled across the water and echoed through the quiet streets, catching everyone off guard. Heads turned skyward as a massive gray C-17 Globemaster III descended from the clouds, its enormous shadow stretching across the land and casting a sense of awe and uncertainty over the community. The sight left locals speechless. Older residents were instantly transported back to the era when the U.S. naval base dominated the bay, memories flooding back, while the younger generation watched in wide-eyed amazement, witnessing history unfold before their eyes. The giant aircraft touched down with practiced precision, its arrival both unannounced and cloaked in mystery, leaving everyone to wonder about its purpose. Within moments, crowds gathered at the airport fences, phones raised high to capture the spectacle. Videos and photos flooded social media, turning the event into a viral sensation within minutes. Conversations buzzed with speculation. Why had a U.S. military plane landed here, and what could it possibly mean for Subic Bay and the Philippines? The message, however, was unmistakable. The United States was back in Subic Bay, re-establishing its presence in a region fraught with uncertainty. For some, the sight brought a sense of reassurance and hope, a powerful ally returning at a time when regional tensions were running high and security felt uncertain. Yet for others, anxiety grew. They worried that this bold move might provoke China, potentially escalating an already delicate situation and drawing the Philippines into a larger conflict. The landing was far more than a simple logistical event. It was a calculated maneuver on the global chessboard, signaling shifting alliances and new strategies in the Indo-Pacific. Overnight, Subic Bay, once a quiet port town, became the center of international attention, with news crews and analysts flocking to cover the unfolding story. The world watched closely, leaders and citizens alike glued to their screens, sensing that this dramatic event was only the beginning of a new chapter. In a single morning, the ordinary routines of Subic Bay were transformed, as the community found itself at the heart of a story that would shape the region's future. Subic Bay was back on the map, its fate now intertwined with the shifting tides of global power. The C-17's landing at Subic Bay was a thunderous signal, not just a military drill. Subic's strategic location, right by the South China Sea, made this move impossible to ignore. The U.S. wasn't just testing a runway, it was demonstrating rapid power projection in a contested region. China, expanding its reach in the South China Sea, was caught off guard. The unannounced arrival challenged Beijing's assumptions and sent shockwaves through its leadership. The secrecy maximized psychological impact, proving the U.S. and Philippines could act decisively and unpredictably. Allies like Japan and Australia saw renewed American commitment. European nations took note. Military analysts asked, if a C-17 can land unannounced, what else can the U.S. deploy? The landing forced a global reassessment of power in Asia. Subic Bay's runway became a stage for a new era of strategic competition. The world's balance was shifting, fast. The South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade. Trillions of dollars in goods pass through each year. Multiple nations claim its waters, but China's sweeping 9-line claim is the most aggressive. In 2016, an international court rejected China's claim, but Beijing ignored the ruling and built militarized islands. For the Philippines, these waters are about survival. Food, jobs, and energy depend on access. Chinese ships blocking Filipino fishermen and oil exploration threaten livelihoods. The U.S. insists on freedom of navigation, fearing that Chinese control would choke global commerce and set a dangerous precedent. U.S. Navy patrols challenge excessive claims, keeping sea lanes open for all. The South China Sea is more than a map dispute, it's a test of international order. Subic Bay's deep harbor made it a U.S. military stronghold for nearly a century. Its strategic location and natural depth provided an ideal setting for naval operations, making it a cornerstone of American military presence in the Pacific. Generations of Filipinos worked alongside American sailors. The base was a symbol of alliance and prosperity. It fostered a unique cultural exchange, blending American and Filipino traditions, and became a bustling hub of activity and economic growth for the region. In 1992, the Philippine Senate closed the bases, marking a proud moment of sovereignty. This decision was a significant step in asserting national independence, reflecting the country's desire to chart its own course in the post-Cold War era. Subic transformed into a free port, its military past fading, until tensions in the South China Sea reignited interest. The area evolved into a vibrant economic zone, attracting businesses and investors, yet its strategic importance never truly disappeared. Geography never stopped mattering. Subic is close to contested waters and can host the largest military aircraft. Its proximity to the South China Sea makes it a critical point of interest for military strategists and geopolitical analysts alike. As regional threats grew, both Manila and Washington saw Subic's strategic value anew. Diplomatic discussions intensified, focusing on how to best utilize Subic Bay in the face of rising tensions and evolving security challenges. Recent agreements now allow U.S. forces access, not as a permanent base, but as a flexible partnership. This arrangement reflects a modern approach to military collaboration, emphasizing adaptability and mutual benefit. U.S. ships and planes can refuel, repair, and train here, strengthening joint readiness. These activities enhance the operational capabilities of both nations, ensuring they are prepared to respond to any regional threats. The C-17's landing was the most visible sign of this new era. It symbolized the renewed military cooperation and the strategic importance of Subic Bay in contemporary defense planning. Subic's ghostly past now has a new mission: frontline security in a high-stakes rivalry. The bay stands as a testament to the enduring nature of strategic locations, adapting to meet the demands of modern geopolitics. The bay is once again a pivot point in Asia's power struggle. Its role in the regional balance of power is as crucial now as it was during its days as a military base. History repeats, but with a modern twist. The echoes of the past resonate through the present as Subic Bay adapts to new challenges and opportunities. Subic Bay is no longer just a memory, it's a strategic asset reborn. Its transformation from a historical relic to a modern military hub underscores its enduring significance. The world's eyes are back on this storied port. Global media coverage highlights its renewed importance as nations watch closely how Subic Bay will shape future geopolitical dynamics. The past and future now meet on its shores. Subic Bay stands as a bridge between eras where history and modernity converge in a landscape of strategic significance. The C-17 Globemaster III is the U.S. Air Force's workhorse, built for power, reach, and versatility. It can haul tanks, helicopters, troops, or humanitarian aid, landing on short, rough runways anywhere in the world. The C-17 has delivered supplies in war zones and disaster areas alike, symbolizing both might and mercy. Its arrival at Subic Bay was a message: the U.S. can rapidly deploy game-changing assets to the Philippines. The cargo mattered less than the capability on display. Any aggressor now knows the U.S. can respond swiftly and decisively. The landing also proved the U.S.-Philippines alliance works in practice, not just on paper. Subic's runway and ground crews passed the test. For military planners, this was a crucial demonstration of readiness. The C-17 is more than a plane. It's a symbol of alliance, deterrence, and strategic flexibility. Its touchdown changed the region's calculations overnight. Subic Bay is ready for whatever comes next. Beijing's reaction to the C-17's landing was immediate and fierce. China accused the U.S. of militarizing the region and warned the Philippines not to become a pawn. Chinese military forces went on alert, state media issued threats and declared China's resolve. The PLA Navy and Coast Guard ramped up patrols near the Philippines, conducting drills as a show of force. These moves were classic gray zone tactics, aggressive but just short of war. China's fury revealed how sensitive it is to any challenge in the South China Sea. For Beijing, control here is a core interest. Security and prestige are on the line. The U.S.-Philippines alliance and renewed access to Subic is seen as a direct threat. The C-17's arrival was interpreted as part of a larger American strategy to contain China. Beijing's response, diplomatic protests, media warnings, and military muscle, was meant to intimidate and deter. The stakes had just been raised. The U.S.-Philippines alliance is one of Asia's oldest, rooted in a complex shared history, and the landmark 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. This agreement, signed in the aftermath of World War II, established a formal commitment to mutual defense, binding the two nations together in the face of external threats. Over the decades, this alliance has weathered many storms, adapting to changing regional dynamics and global politics. Though the relationship has had its ups and downs, with periods of both close cooperation and tension, rising challenges in the West Philippine Sea have brought the allies closer than ever before. The growing assertiveness of China in these contested waters has underscored the importance of a strong partnership. Facing increasing Chinese aggression and maritime incursions, Manila has turned back to Washington for support, seeking reassurance and tangible assistance in defending its sovereignty and territorial rights. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, now allows the U.S. to pre-position military equipment and use key Philippine bases for rotational deployments. This has significantly boosted the Philippines' defense capabilities and deepened military integration. The recent landing of the massive C-17 transport aircraft at Subic Bay is a direct result of this renewed partnership, symbolizing the return of a robust American presence in the region. Joint military exercises such as the annual Balikatan drills have grown larger and more complex, involving thousands of troops and advanced equipment. These exercises showcase not only unity and readiness, but also the ability to respond to a range of scenarios, from disaster relief to high-end conflict. These drills send a clear message to the region and beyond. US and Filipino forces can operate together seamlessly, coordinating on land, at sea, and in the air. Recent incidents of Chinese harassment against Philippine vessels, including the use of water cannons, have only strengthened the resolve of both nations to stand together in defense of international law and regional stability. US ships and aircraft now regularly patrol alongside their Philippine counterparts, providing real protection and a visible deterrent to further aggression. The C-17's arrival at Subic Bay is the most dramatic sign yet that America stands ready to support its oldest Asian ally, not just in words, but in action. This is not just symbolism, it's a living, breathing partnership demonstrated through joint humanitarian missions, disaster response, and ongoing military cooperation. The alliance is reborn, its resolve clear and unwavering as both nations reaffirm their commitment to peace, security, and mutual prosperity. Subic Bay, once a symbol of past cooperation, is once again the front line of this vital partnership, hosting joint operations and serving as a strategic hub. The region is watching, and so is the world. As tensions rise, the US-Philippines alliance stands as a beacon of stability and shared resolve in a rapidly changing Indo-Pacific. In the South China Sea, every move is scrutinized. One misstep could spark a crisis. The C-17's landing was a major move in a tense, ongoing chess match. US, Chinese, and Southeast Asian forces constantly test each other, raising the risk of escalation. Recent confrontations, Chinese ships blocking Philippine boats, water cannon attacks, have heightened tensions. The Philippines now publicizes these incidents, rallying international support. The US and allies back Manila, citing international law and a rules-based order. China uses its economic and military weight to pressure neighbors one-on-one. Every deployment statement or flight path is analyzed for its deeper meaning. The C-17's arrival forced reactions from all sides, raising both hope and anxiety. The danger: this cycle of action and reaction could spiral out of control. The region holds its breath with every new move. The C-17's landing at Subic Bay marked a turning point for Asia's future. It brought history, strategy, and alliances together in a single, unforgettable moment. The event clarified the region's choices: a future based on law and freedom, or one ruled by power. The landing was a powerful act of deterrence, showing that aggression would be met with swift response. It reinforced international law, backing up principles with action, not just words. Smaller nations saw that they have options and partners willing to stand with them. The US-Philippines alliance is now a pillar of regional security. The landing drew a line in the sand. Asia's future will not be dictated by one power alone. Instead, it will be shaped by a community committed to a free, open, and peaceful Indo-Pacific. Tensions may rise, but the message is clear. Subic Bay's runway is now a symbol of resolve. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. The next chapter in Asia's story has just begun.